Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today, we're looking at, this is February, no, I gotta get out of February. It's March. Boy, this year's going crazy fast. It's March 3rd, and you're looking at a field. This is actually about, I think it's around right at 30 acres, 28, 29, 30 acres. It's a big bottom field, lays against the creek over here, and it lays right next to one of our farms that we lease. So this is Dave and Sue's farm. We had the cattle down here, and we unrolled hay in here this winter, and really put some fertility in there. And that hay, we actually just was able to lay some logs on this fence right here. I've got a 2-wire fence, high tempo. There's the top one, there's the bottom one. We just laid a log on here and drove across here with our bale hauler, and we were able to haul 6 of them out of here at a time. So we bought the hay from this fellow, and he gave up the lease this last year. He doesn't need the hay anymore. So I got a hold of the young man that owns this, and he'd already fertilized it this fall, and I didn't know him, never met the young man, but I got his phone number and called him and asked him what he's going to do with this hay. And he said, well, I'm gonna bale it. I'm gonna bale it and I'm gonna sell it. Well, there's one little problem with this bottom. You got to cross that creek over there, and it's a big creek, and it's a nasty crossing to get hay across. Where here, I just lay a log on the fence and drive it straight across. So I negotiated a deal with him that I would take all the hay if he wanted to bale it, and I'd buy it from him. He set the price. And I said, how about if I just come in here and broadcast some clover on here? And he goes, well, you do that? And I'm like, yeah, I'd do that. It's gonna help. It's gonna help us. I mean, it's gonna make it better hay. And he bought this from his grandmother. He's not gonna be selling it. It's part of his legacy from his grandparents. And it's a beautiful farm. I think he told me he had 100 acres here. Most of it, he's still got a alfalfa field on the other side of that cedar grove there, up on that hill. And then over yonder, across, you can see way up there on that hill, across that, through the woods, there's a field over there that's as big as this or maybe bigger. And he was talking about maybe putting that in soybeans. I'm going to try and talk to him before he does that, because, boy, I know the history of this farm, and it was soybean to death for 30 years, and they never got a crop. And it's been in grass seed. It's been in grass for many years now. And matter of fact, a lot of this was in CRP. And it still has a filter strip. I'm actually standing in the filter strip right here. Come out here. This is where the actual hay field starts. Anyway, there's about 100-foot buffer all the way around this field that he can't do anything with. He does mow it to keep the brush down, but this buffer strip is to buffer any nutrients or anything that wants to run into that creek over there. And it is a cost share, or it's a government program. You get so much an acre for doing that. The filter strips, they call them. Anyway, I'm excited about this field. It's easy. It's easy for us. It's right over there is our farm on this side of that tree line. And so we don't have to haul it. I mean, we hauled, I think it was 77 bales out of here. Isaac and Ben and I did it, and I think we did it in about 2 hours. Didn't have to go on the road, blacktop or nothing. Just came over here one evening and put 6 at a time on that unroller on our old Dodge and ferried them across over here and dumped them, stacked them on rows, and we unrolled it. So Dave and Sue's farm, I can't wait to see what it looks like this spring. But this farm is not fenced. There's no fence on it, so you can't run livestock on it. And I don't know, down the road, if this guy gets interested, maybe wants to run some livestock, we'll see. I've got a power source right there. I can hook on and bring it right around that creek. Now you would have to be careful down in here. Where I'm standing, I've never seen this underwater right where I'm standing, but down there by those big sycamore trees, that creek comes out of it and gets into that bottom. So you just have to watch the weather if you grazed in here. Of course, they got a big creek crossing over there. You just have to make sure, you know, the cows couldn't get in the creek when you had a flood. So there would definitely be some management and some, might even be a day or two of nail biting if you got a week of rain. And if you know rain's coming, you just get them out of here. You wouldn't graze this. But I tell you what, I think the young man could do a lot better keeping this in grass than plowing it up, disking it, putting, you know, GMO beans on it. You know, in the long run, you're not building any soil wealth cropping it. There's just no organic matter in soybean stubble. And a lot of your soil ends up in that creek over there. So, you know, people talk about, you know, making a living. I talk about building soil wealth. If you build soil wealth on your farm in the form of this, keeping your soil covered, getting some legumes in here, that's what we're getting ready to do. I've got my herd cedar on here. And this particular four-wheeler is a Rincon. It's a 750. And I've always used this one to spread clover seed. I can spread it 15 miles an hour, and I'm throwing it about 32 feet. So it's going about 16 feet each direction. And here's my little, I'm not going to turn that on because I don't want to get pelted. I've got that thing full of clover seed. Okay. And I've already put one bag down here. And I didn't like the coverage I got. It wasn't coming on very thick. And I'm like, it's going to be a struggle for the clover to come in here. And I may see it next year. I don't know. I know this. They say clover seed is seed that you can put down and it'll never go to waste. It'll sit there until it gets its time to grow, and then it will come. Because this has got a lot of residual on it, but it is early enough in the year. You know, it's March. We still got some freezing thawing going on here, so we'll get some of it to come up. And this is pre-inoculated. It's just medium red clover. I'm going to put down another 100 pounds today. So altogether, I put down 50, and so I got 150 pounds. Just say 30 acres. So I'm putting down about 5 pounds. The reason I'm putting down 5 versus my normal 2.5 to 3 is I've got so much cover out here. There's just a lot of cover, and ideally it'd been nice to strip graze this off this winter. Let them walk, you know, put a gate in right here and let them walk back to my water and graze this off and get rid of all that cover out there. And boy, that clover, you'd easily get 30 to 40% clover stand in here. But this is a trial. We're gonna see it. It's not that expensive of a trial. A bag of that seed is $70, so I've got 210 bucks in this little trial that I'm gonna run. I was looking at the purity of this seed. The germ right there is 90%, and it's already pre-inoculated, so I don't have to mess with the inoculant. There is 50 pounds in there, and we're gonna find out. But you notice I've got this vest on. Well, let me turn the camera around, I'm sorry. There, I've got this vest on. This vest protects you. That clover seed coming out there, it hurts. I mean, it's booking. And if you don't have a vest or something on your back, it'll feel like, your back will feel like hamburger when you're done with a field this size. So put a vest on, keep that seed from pelting you in the back. It's like somebody shooting you with a bunch of little BBs. But it's not bad with this vest. I won't be able to feel it hardly at all. But I can sow this whole field here in about 25 to 30 minutes. So I'm gonna get started here. The days are getting away from, it's almost lunchtime, but I want to get this done before lunch, and then we'll call her a day on this part. There's that eagle. There's an eagle over there, over the creek. There's beaver in this creek. Folks, beaver, I love beaver because the beavers I love them if they're in the right place. I don't like them up in a farm pond. They really work on your banks and the trees around your ponds. I've got a group in a lake up in some big white oak timber, and they're just really wreaking havoc up there. But along a creek like this, the beaver dam it up. That's where they've been for centuries. And when they get that water backed up, now you've got fish, you've got frogs, you've got cranes, you've got all these water birds, the deer, the turkey. It's the cycle of life. That's what it is. It's the cycle of life. So if you've got beaver in your creek, thank yourself. You're lucky to have them. And they're kind of the beginning of everything. You know, there's life where there's beaver. So anyway, I'm going to sign off. Y'all new to the channel, hit that subscribe button on the way out. And I'd appreciate it. And that like button. And I'm going to jump on this spin cedar herd. This is a herd cedar. It's the model, I love this thing. It's a GT77. I don't use it much anymore, but this is some new land. And it has, it just hasn't had any clover seed put on it. It's going to make the hay that we buy from this young man a lot better. And we're willing to do that just to get better quality forage. Anyway, y'all take care, and we'll see y'all down the road.